Good day everyone, my name is Robert Dillon, and in this seminar I'll be talking about water conservation. Before I start the speech, I'd like to ask a few questions. How many of us enjoy our beautiful Duns River? How many of us enjoy the sounds of a flowing river? Soothing, right? Now how many of us enjoy a nice long shower, whether hot or cold, right? Now, how many of us can imagine our country without Duns River? How many of us can imagine our country without those flowing rivers? How many of us can imagine our country without the luxury of taking a shower? Today I would like to talk about Conserve to Live. And in this seminar we'll be talking about factors that affect our water supply, as well as techniques we can use to conserve on water. According to the National Water Commission, an average Jamaican home uses up to 5,000 gallons of water each month. And 10% of that water loss is due to leaks that are happening in and around the home. Now, we all depend on water to live. And that is why it's crucial for us to conserve on water, as it affects us all. As citizens of the corporate era, like myself, we depend on two main sources of clean water supply: the Hermitage Dam and the Mona Reservoir. And it is crucial for us to ensure that we conserve the water, as these affects our dams. A point I'd like you to remember is that water usage is solely based on our personal habits, and we can conserve at least 30% of our water consumption each month by practicing good water conservation techniques. Now, there are factors that affect our water supply, and some of these factors are our weather system that change every year. One of the changing weather system is called El Nino. Now, El Nino is a natural phenomenon that happens every 3 to 5 years, and with it comes less rainfall. And what happens is our country goes through a much hotter and drier season than normal, which pushes our rainy season into August to November. There are some factors that we must look for in trying to conserve water, not only in our home but outside our home. One of the things we need to look forward to is that there may be excessive amount of water lossage, such as a break in a water main in the road, which is necessary for us to report, as well as if persons are illegally using water, the water hydrant, which amounts to a massive amount of water lossage. Another factor that affects our water supply is pollution. It is necessary and crucial for us to dispose of our garbage properly and away from our water system. This can affect our water supply and even cause diseases. Some of the great ways or tips that we can use in our home to conserve on water is to check if there's any leaks. One of the ways is to check leak is to, on a regular basis, check your water meter. If you notice that the needle of the water meter keeps spinning even after all the faucets and all the pipes are turned off, there may be a leak in the home, and it's a great way to fix it, which will save you money in the long run. Another great tip is in the bathroom. Turn off the faucets when you use it, especially when we're brushing your teeth, something that we all do. A good way to do so is to use a glass. Now, this amount of water in a glass is more than enough for you to use when you're brushing your teeth. Another tip is when in the shower, use as much water as possible. When you get in the shower, get yourself wet. That's enough water to soap yourself up, and then you can use the water afterwards. This saves you on money. Another great tip is to use the water in your sink. If you have a double sink, you can either use a basin which catches the water when you when you're washing your dishes, or even when you're cleaning the food. This brown or gray water that happens, I know how nasty it looks, but it is a great way to use it. And this is using it in your flower bed or in your garden. You can use it there, and it's a great way to save on water conservation. Another great tip is use a makeshift water catchment area. This way you can catch the water during the rainy season, and we can seal it away that you can use during the dry season to water your lawn or even in your plants. This is another way to save on money. Another great tip is when you're washing your car, use 2 buckets, one for soaping and the other for rinsing. This reduces the amount of water that is being flowing out of the hose, that is an excessive wastage of our natural water system. If you have to use your hose for whatever reason, invest in a cut-off nozzle. It may seem expensive at first, but it will save you in the long run. That way, when you need the water, you press the nozzle. When you release it, no more water wastage. And that's something that we need to help in conserving water. And these are great tips that we can teach our children, as they can pass on that same message into the future generation and generations to come. I'd like to talk at this time for us to understand how important it is to conserve on water, as it affects us all. Another great tip we'd like to talk about is how important water is and how fragile life is without the access of clean water. I'd like to even talk about how beautiful our island is with this natural resource. Right now, I just want to say how important it is and how crucial in conserving water. And this can be done by just using the right techniques, which will not only conserve water greatly for our nation, but for globally. Water is life. Cheers to life.